you know, coaches are always dreaming and visualizing and of how you want things to go, and you can't script a better senior night for Jordan Hicks. You just can't. You couldn't have a better night for him on the way that thing went. It'll be someone that I think Rambler fans remember forever. And then our other senior, Ben Avercamp, and I'm happy that he didn't, you know, that with the career he's had academically, being an All-American, the playing career that he had, that his last memory wasn't, you know, the concussion. That his last memory was that he did finish off on senior night with a win and a great emotional day. What I told the two seniors before the game, and I said, I've been there before, you know, on senior night, and I just told them what I tell every senior on senior night: take it all in, you know, take it all in. Just go out there. Don't be pressing. Think about doing your job. When you focus on what's my job defensively, what's my job here, and then take it all in, instead of starting backwards. You start at the end going, God, I'm pressing. I hope I have a big night scoring 20. You know, when you start at the end, it's a thing. And you start with just taking it in, enjoying it, and then doing your job. It was a great lesson of Jordan's maturity and his maturation process over the last 2 years that I've seen is not pressing. He came out and he didn't score a lot early, but he played great defense. Then he picked up fouls. He got in foul trouble. He still didn't let that get him down. And that's a perfect mirror of symbolism that's going on in his life, you know, of not letting things get him down. I'm sorry, Tony, I just want to finish that thought of the injuries and his mother, of being resilient. And that was him. You know, you didn't want to script Jordan Hicks getting 2 fouls in the first half. You know, you didn't want to script that. And he did, and he didn't let him bother him. He just came and he kept on playing. He was resilient. That's why that kid's going to be successful in life.
Court, yes, it's a victory, and it's got to feel good because you guys have come so close. But even in the last few games that you played, even in Detroit, do you feel like you're going to be able to?
I have. I mean, we've been doing so many good things. It's just our margin for error has been small. I mean, go back to the Kent State game. I mean, every game, we did a lot of great things. We just haven't been able to sustain it. You know, we've made some youthful mistakes, but effort, focus has been there every game. I mean, things that we see, the growth we see as coaches behind the scenes is just steady, all right? It's frustrating for fans sometimes to lose, and for everybody, to lose these close ones, but we see our arrow going up. And, you know, this is why it's March Madness. There's not anybody in this league that we feel that we can't go in and compete against. Everybody feels the same way, I'm sure, in this league, because it is a balanced league. But, you know, anything can happen. I just love tournament time, and I love the momentum and the guys' mentality. You know, it was a heartbreak. I can't even tell you the locker rooms, some of these losses. You know, I stood those guys up. I mean, we had more people in street clothes than in uniforms during the national anthem at Detroit, and just to see those guys spent with their effort. They were completely spent. I mean, just drained, and they did so many great things to fall 1 point short. And then the next day, they were just resilient. We came back and we focused, and then we were going to Cleveland State. And I think that's the culture of learning as we move into a winning program. They're not feeling sorry for themselves. We're getting right back at it and working at it.
Can you kind of assess Youngstown right now?
You know, I can say that they beat us twice at the buzzer, you know, and they've beaten us twice at the buzzer. And those will be in the highlight film, in the film session. They can really score. They're athletic. Their center is you know, a top shot blockers. Well, it is a top shot blocker in school history, so he affects the game because he's always in the back of people's minds, Ergel. You know, Allen's a senior point guard. Yeah, I don't see the box score, but I know the box score of the game before, he had like 26. Beelan, their junior college transfer, is playing great. So, we'll get on that here shortly today. But, they're really athletic and they can score in bunches.
If you're, take yourself out of control, you're a coach, another coach is looking at Loyola. Do you think other coaches look at you as a very dangerous team right now?
I don't know, Tony. I don't know. I really don't know. I think what's more important is I really feel that our locker room feels we're dangerous. I really do. I really feel our guys had a little edge right now. I mean, they're. I tell you, what was a great growing part is I think we had a 12-point lead at halftime. Is that what it was? 12, and then we talked in the locker room coming out. We're like, it is about coming out with this energy, and we want them to call the first timeout. And we started off on a 5-0 run. They called timeout, and you just saw the guys. That's what they were saying. That's the first timeout. And they were believing in what we were trying to do. And then we never really, from that point on, we didn't let them get back in the game. We didn't come out just like, hey, we got a lead, and we came out just really wound up energy in the second half. And it really, I thought it was one of the keys to opening up that lead and not relinquishing it.
First, Ben, because you've been gone for a while too.
Yeah, there was a lot going into this game. That was the first time I'd gone live, basically, since the Wright State game. So just getting out there was a different feel. I'm thankful for the guys. They stepped up and played a hell of a game. Without them, they set the tone early and allowed me to kind of work myself back into the game. It felt good to get some game action, but it felt great to close it out with such a resounding win. The previous 3 senior nights hadn't gone so well here, so to close this one out is definitely a good feeling and something I'm just thankful for.
And Jordan, emotionally, in a lot of ways for you too. You had your best game around your senior day.
Yeah, obviously it was a big day for me and really emotional, but just to have all these guys and the fans and the coaching staff have my back and just give me confidence, and it's just one of those days where I just went out there and had fun with it, and like Ben said, it was nice to get a win, on senior night. It's been a while, I know, but having my mom there just really uplifted me, and I just, really just went out there and had fun and was unconscious, I guess. It's been a while, just didn't think about things and just played. So it was a good day.
You came so close at Detroit, and then a really controlled game today. How do you feel going into the tournament?
I feel really good, just because obviously, we didn't have Ben at Detroit, and we were able to, stay there and stay with them, and they hit a buzzer beater on us, and that's tough. But I'm really confident in going into the tournament because we got Ben back. We have London back again, and just putting the pieces together, I think we're going to go on a roll.
Ben, you kind of feel that way because you've been kind of watching.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like we're poised to do something in the tournament. I haven't advanced past the first round. I don't think Jordan has either. So it's obviously something that we want to do. We've lost to Youngstown State by 3 points this year combined. So that's our mindset going in. It's for us. It's obviously a very winnable game, but we're going in the mindset that we're going to Youngstown and we're going to it's that game, and then hopefully we'll be moving on. But I think our confidence right now is pretty high, which is good.
Can you look back at some of these close losses that you've had and think that maybe it might help you down the way because you've been in so many games and because they've been close?
Well, I think being in close games in general is a good thing for down the stretch. And obviously I wish we would have pulled them out. I think that if we would have pulled them out, that would have been the difference, because I think you have a different, with the younger team, you have a lot of confidence that, okay, it's the end of the game, but this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to win. So we just got to, kind of have the mindset that we got to finish the games. It's something that we haven't done very well. So if we finish games, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, you just got to really grind it out at the end of games and finish them, had a lot of close games, and I think we can put it together and get on a roll.
For both of you, if you, tournament aside, the games coming up, you look at the program and how do you look at it going forward now that the seniors?
I mean, just basically they got a bright future. It's a really talented crew of young guys they got, and they're just going to get better and better. I'm excited to watch them grow up.
You know, a lot of times it's that freshman to sophomore year jump, which, you know, a lot of guys make. So hopeful for these guys that, you know, obviously don't want to look forward to next year, but for those guys to make that big jump, because then I think it's a really bright future.